All right. Hello, everyone. So good to see some familiar faces here. Just letting in a few other people. Hey, Kim, it's so good to see you here. Good to see Michael again. Good to see your face, Thomas. Don't often see your face. I see your emails and everything else. So good to see you here. Kim, are you staying till the end by any chance?
It goes for 1 hour?
Yes, 1 hour.
Yeah,
In and
yes,
out.
I
Cool.
will be. Yeah.
Would you mind if I make you co-host for today?
Okay. No, I don't mind, I mean.
And the only reason I'm asking you to do that is because I know that you're amazing, so you can do that. Basically, just to let people in, just so that I don't get distracted, stay on track. If you see people coming in, just let them in. If these boys don't behave themselves, kick them out. And basically, if anybody asks any relevant questions in the chat box and it's really relevant, then interrupt me. Italian rules, you can interrupt me and just let me know what it is so that I can answer those questions.
So do you need to give me permission to let people in?
Yeah, I have already.
Yeah,
I should have just check. I mean, we'll see right now if someone comes, but you should get the notification. It says that you are co-hosts. So
Okay.
I would say that you have permission.
Okay.
Permission. All right, so let's get started. I always get so incredibly excited when I hold these events, and today we're specifically going to be talking about getting crazy sales, making crazy sales. So apparently it's a really good tagline because it gets quite a lot of people registered for these events. I think we had 67 people registered, and we've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 signed up for now, but I know a lot of people do wait for the replays to go out to them, and that's also okay, because this time doesn't work for everyone, and that's absolutely fine. So hoping that everyone is staying dry and not too heavily affected by the weather that we've been having. I will share screen and we will get straight away into let's just go that, play from the start, how to make crazy sales. Okay, the one that I did previous to this was how to make a 6-figure business, and it did exceptionally well as well. So at the end of the day, what do I know? People want to make sales from their Facebooking. So firstly, let's just check we got the right people in the room. This basically is for people, for business owners who manage their own Facebook profiles to get clients, create opportunities, and grow their business without spending their lives on Facebook or without wasting heaps and heaps of money, understanding also that time is money, right? So why is this different from everyone else? Well, I've been there and I've done that, and I'm more interested in making money from Facebook than making friends. And a lot of people will often hear get more visible, have more brand awareness, reach more people, have more exposure. But the reality is, at the end of the day, if we're going to be using Facebook for marketing in our business, the result has to end in paying clients. And this is basically what I teach and what I'm incredibly passionate about teaching, because there are better things to do than live on Facebook, right? I mean, some of you may absolutely love it. Believe it or not, I often open my statement open is like opening statement is, I actually don't like being on Facebook. I hate Facebook. The least amount of time I can spend on Facebook, the absolute better. And for the third reason is that there's a hard way to do things and then there's a smart way to do things. And basically what that refers to is that I don't come from a marketing background. I actually come from a mum in business who has to feed her family kind of background, completely self-taught. So a lot of the language and things that I do are quite practical and not overwhelming. And they're not haphazard and all over the place. All right, so my promise is that I'm going to show you the exact strategies that I personally use. So this is stuff that I use myself. It's not just stuff that I teach, it's stuff that I actually use. A lot of people out there teach stuff that other people are doing or say that works. I personally use this and have seen successes in my businesses, but I'm also going to show you the results that clients are getting and how people are actually making crazy sales already in 2021. Because I know that there's been a lot of negativity around, job seeker ending, and with COVID, are we going to make any money? Does this actually work? Maybe we've got to pay for advertising. But people are making sales and they are doing it without paying for ads. And the bonus is, if you stay till the end, I'm going to snap a little picture of you. or I might get Kim to actually, because she's just been thrown into the deep end of being my co-host today. But I will take a screenshot at the end and you will get my sales formula checklist, which is actually not that checklist. I didn't have it in time to get it up. So there's another one for you if you want to take a screenshot quickly. But the one that we will be posting to you, emailing to you at the end of the session is my sales formula checklist. So first, let's start with a reality check. Facebook can be challenging. I've had this lady for the last 2 days messaging me every 5 minutes going, something's happened. I've lost access to Facebook. I can't figure this out. I don't know what's going on. And all I've said to her is her Facebook chat page has changed to the new look. So everything's in a different place and she's freaking out. She thinks that Facebook's blocked her and doesn't understand where everything is or how it's working. And it certainly doesn't help when Facebook does change things. But what I said to her in my final message today, well, I'm hoping is my final message, is that once you actually understand Facebook and you understand its values and you understand how it works, it doesn't really matter where they change things. It's kind of like, okay, that's there over now, and okay, that's there. It's kind of like going into Woolworths where you go, all right, they've moved the vitamins and they've gone and put it next to the socks now instead of next to the plasters or Band-Aids. So it's exactly the same when you understand how Facebook works and what it is all about. So these are some of the 4 challenges that I hear all the time. And number 1 is you simply don't know what to write, when, or how. And in fact, far too many people put an emphasis on the when and how, or on the when, should I say. So if that's you, go, yep, challenge 1, that's me. Challenge 2 is you do post, but it's crickets. Absolutely nobody engages or says anything. And for the people who know me or have worked with me, they know that although engagement is a fundamental part of Facebook, the reality is that it's not the only part of Facebook. In fact, many people will watch before they buy, and some may not engage at all. So it is important to understand that and not to put too much emphasis on that. However, one of the biggest challenges I do hear is that when they do stuff, they simply just don't get inquiries, leads, or anything else. And that's number 3. So you want sales, but there's just no inquiries. So not even people inquiring about your services, nobody even messaging through your Facebook page. And number 4 is you feel like you're spending all this time and money and you're just getting overwhelmed and frustrated. Just had another lady just message me now. And she said to me, I've been doing all these things. Facebook have basically taken away my ability to do anything on the platform. I'm spending all this time. I'm trying to do all these boosts and these ads. And Facebook has gone and banned me from groups, banned me from marketplace, has blocked me from everything. What do I do? And I said, well, you simply don't know how to use the platform. If this is happening, it's because you don't know how to use the platform. And often people miss out on those fundamentals, the foundation steps. So out of all of those, in the chat box, put which for you is your biggest challenge. Number 1, 2, 3, or 4. I'm quite interested to know. All right, let's have a look. 1 to 4, 1. That's awesome. All of the above 3. All right, excellent. Well, let's just focus for a moment. Take a step back and go, how does your business look in 2021, right? Because nobody could have predicted their business in 2020 with COVID, right? Everyone had to pivot and go sideways, upside down, and nobody could have foreseen any of that. But for a moment, picture in 2021, what is it that you're wanting to see for yourself? And in that, is it personally, do you want less time online? Do you want to go to the gym more? Do you want to spend more time traveling, even if it's just locally because we can't do international? Is it that you want more higher priced clients? Is it that you want to sell more of your online offers? Like for your business in 2021, what is the overall intention that you want for your business? Because if we understand that, then we know how to apply Facebook to get that result. So for you right now, if you have this big, hairy, audacious goal for 2021, what is it? Put it in the chat box for me. For me personally, it was about spending less time online, because for COVID, I had to spend so much time online and my eyeballs were getting sore and I've had to start using like special lubricating eye drops. So for me, it's spending less time online, but it means then I've got to get more high priced clients in order to do that, so that I'm basically getting a higher value per hour. So what is that for you? Let's have a look. to grow the business. Awesome. Grow the business with what? To grow the business with more customers, and what type of customers. If we can niche that down just a little bit more, we can become a lot more clearer. Okay, so here are the opportunities that basically that you have right now. Once you know what to do, you'll have more money and time. Okay. Number two is you'll wake up every day confidently knowing what to do to get a result. Okay, because confidence is a lot of the problem. Often people don't have confidence, so it stops them from actually taking action. Number three is sales will simply and effectively happen when you have a strategy. And number four is you'll have a professional business that is effortlessly growing. Now, I say effortlessly with a little bit tongue in cheek, because at the end of the day, if you want to make money, work is involved. Anyone who tells you it's like a 4-hour day or 4-hour work week or whatever, well, that's great for them. For me personally, I know that you have to put in the work, but there is the easier way to do things, and there's an easier way to do things, or there's a hard way of doing things. All right. So my story, and I know some of you on here, but these are my daughters, Erin and Jordan and Hannah. And this is how they were when I moved here 12 years ago from South Africa to Australia. In South Africa, I had paid off cars, paid off 7-seater car, which had smash and grab windows, because when you're in South Africa, you have smash and grab windows. So if anybody smashes them, they shatterproof. Yes, it's a true story. So you have shatterproof windows, 7-seater car, fully paid off. I had a fully paid off health, wellness and fitness center. My house was almost fully paid off. We both, my husband at the time, he was working, he was earning money. I had my fitness business, so I was earning money. And then we sold everything, gave up everything, came here, had no welfare, had no Centrelink, had no financial support, had no family, emotional support either. And he lost his job. So he came here on a working visa, he lost his job, and I basically taught myself Facebook and grew my first business, then second business, then third business, all of which I tripled, and it was using organic Facebook. But what I found in my health, wellness and fitness center that I had here in Australia was that people couldn't pay me rent. And the reason they couldn't pay me rent was because they couldn't get more customers. And they didn't have money to outsource it to big marketing companies. They just simply didn't have $300 to $1,000 a week just to give it to someone else and say, well, here, you run with it, you get me more clients. So I started with my Facebook business to be able to help them be able to pay me for the facility that I have. But soon after that, I had so many people inquiring about, could I teach them the organic strategies of how they could simply do it themselves? Because many people are managing their Facebook anyway, but imagine if you knew how to manage it more effectively. And this is us now. Yes, they've grown up. So actually, Erin's still on the left. Jordan's in the middle over there. She likes duck face, resting BITC face. And Hannah, my youngest, whose face opens up my Apple phone, by the way, which I think I need to contact Apple about, but her face opens my phone. That's my dog Ziggy, and that's my new partner, Sandy. He's new, but he's old. We've been together almost 5 years now. So I often say I came to Australia to get rid of my South African husband and find myself a New Zealander. So, but that is us now. And by learning how to use Facebook without paying for ads and to do things more simply, over the last probably 6 years, I've been able to triple and scale my business so that I have more time, I am making more money, and I'm still only doing unpaid Facebook and other social media. But from doing that, and this is why it's in my mission statement, I have not only got more customers, but it's created more opportunities that have led to more customers, like winning awards, being on the radio, traveling all around Australia, coaching people, being on Channel 9 News, presenting, being in magazines, to in fact going from holding up the roof of our car and having absolutely no money at the end of the month to being able to buy my first property just last October. And that was without paying for ads, but rather investing in myself. to be able to do it myself. This I had to put in because this is pretty cool. This was a trip we did to South Africa. I love the shotgun. Those are my results. So beware. If I get a gun, I'll handle it quite well. But AK-47s and shotguns, and we had heaps and heaps of fun. And that's my partner, Sandy, there when we went and traveled from Cape Town up to Durban. And I'm so glad we did that. I'm so glad that we had the money to be able to take a month off and go there and travel and see my family, because with COVID, we're probably never going to get that opportunity again. And there's a reason that I'm telling you all of that, not to gloat or not to do anything, because at the end of the day, we've all got a past, okay? And my past included all these things: feeling absolutely desperate and hopeless in my business, not knowing what to do, like hearing so many things and not knowing which direction to go in, having no marketing budget, which is a huge thing. And then you're doing everything, but you're getting nowhere. And this is something, that last one was super important for me, because I was downloading ebooks and watching lives and going to webinars like this. And I was doing little bits of everything and nothing was working. In fact, it was quite exhausting. So once again, my promise is that I'm going to show you the strategies that are currently working, even now in 2021. And I'm going to show you how business owners are happy and thriving. So first, if you want to make crazy sales on Facebook, these are the 10 things that need to be forefront of mind all the time. Because at the end of the day, to make a sale, you have to get a yes from the person on the other side of the screen. All right? They have to say yes. Every time they get a touch from you, they need to get a yes. And in fact, this morning, I did some training on the new Apple I did a training on the new Apple change with the iOS, the new privacy with Facebook ads. And what it means is that they're not going to be able to track the steps inside your funnel for a Facebook ad. And they're not going to be able to retarget or get demographics in Facebook advertising, which basically means that Facebook advertising is going to be more cross your finger than ever before. Because up until now, if they had a 7-part funnel of touching and retargeting people, they could monitor who was doing what and be able to retarget them, and they're not going to be able to do that. And what this means is that you can be touching people for free using Facebook and social media, and by creating opportunities. You can be touching people and building that brand awareness. So even if you had a smaller funnel and you were doing all these things right, you would get a yes, and it would cost you a lot less per click. So number one is never forget to tell your story, because your story is your why and it gives you credibility, and people will choose you based on your story, and it makes you memorable, and people will connect with you because of it, which leads us to like you. People will either like you or they won't like you. If you haven't seen, yesterday, a lady went and posted my first ever bad review on my Facebook page. So you guys are getting like 2 things today that you're hearing straight from the horse's mouth. So go in, if you have a look at Chantal Gerardy, Facebook strategist, a lady has left a review because she didn't like the subject line of my email. And some people are going to like you and some people are just not going to like you. And that's okay. But when you go onto Facebook and you talk about the values that you have, and you're quirky and you're funny, people will either like that or not like that. And the ones that like that will be drawn to you, and the ones that don't like that won't be drawn to you. And again, this was incredibly important for that training that I did this morning on the Facebook ads privacy thing, because they were saying that people in the coaching business, that organic Facebook strategies are going to be more prevalent now than ever before. For the coaching industry, for service-based industries. So not everyone has to like you. That's okay. But you have to understand how you want to be seen online. I mean, I had somebody once has approached me and said they don't like it when I say, oh, I saw you stalking me. They find that offensive because they're introverted and they are from an older demographic. I've also had people tell me not to use exclamation marks multiple times because it's like I'm shouting at them. And that's okay. That is part of my branding. And again, I don't have to please everyone, and that's totally fine. But when people meet me, they know that I am like that anyway. In person, I'm exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. So number 3 is you've got to get people to trust you. So it's really important that you have consistent key messages. I was working with a client yesterday, and when you go onto the website, they had a mission statement there. When you went onto Facebook, they had another mission statement here. When you went onto Instagram, there was another mission statement here. And it's incredibly confusing when your mission statements or your value statements or these like powerful messages that you have, when there's inconsistencies in them. It's really, really important that they stay consistent in your messages, in your visual branding, but also in your key messages, which is what comes out of your mouth. Number 4 is your education and expertise. Don't forget to share your knowledge. Show people how clever you are. Let them know that you know your stuff. Did you knows work incredibly well, along with showing statistics. And of course, if you're confident in doing Facebook Lives and you love presenting, then Facebook Lives is a great way to do it. However, if you're not good on Facebook Lives, don't go and do it, because Facebook Lives can actually break your brand. And there was an example of that about 2 weeks ago, where a lady, she had just built up a massive following. People were following her on her Facebook Lives, and she talks about healthy skin. And she did this Facebook Live where she woke up and she just said, I woke up today and I went to Pilates and I drank a smoothie, and yeah, I'll see you later. And ever since that Facebook Live, all her other Facebook Lives, everybody stopped opening, because it was like, wow, that just wasted my time, not doing that again. So number 5 is credibility. People want to see your qualification. They want to know that you've won awards. They want to see if you're registered, if you've got licenses or years experience. It's important to include that, not only in the setup of your profiles, but to continually be putting that through the messages inside your content. Number 6 is social proof. People just don't want to hear from you the whole time about how wonderful you think that you are. Okay, they want to see other people mentioning you. They want to see reviews, your positive reviews. They want to see success stories, and they want to see recommendations that people are giving you as well. Number 7 is brand awareness. And, you know, we touched on it before about the consistent key messages, which is what comes out of your mouth. But it also helps to have a consistent pitch and graphics, which support across all profiles. Because when people are scrolling, you have to be memorable, you have to stick out. And the only way to do that is to have consistency in that, the same brand feel. Number 8 is your point of difference. If you keep going onto social media and keep saying what it is that you do that everybody else is doing, it's going to make it really difficult for you to stand out. Now, I'm not saying go and get Botox and have your boobs done. But what I am saying is that go through an exercise of looking at what are your competitors doing and what do you do or are known for doing differently. I'm known for accountability. I'm known for being practical. I'm known for being accessible and personable. And I'm very results focused. So if I put that type of stuff in my marketing, those are the points of difference that will come to the forefront. So people that are not looking for an online program where you just watch 1,000 videos and have got to figure it out yourself, but they want accountability, they'll choose me over that person. So be sure to bring your points of difference to the surface. Now, unique selling point, again, referring to key messages, you are part of your unique selling point. So making sure that you and your story is in there, but making sure that whatever your program offer is, that you explain why you've put that package together. And people will always hear me talking about desirable offers. It has to be desirable by someone because they're going to pay for it, right? They're not going to pay for it if it's not desirable. So this comes down to your niche, and that is make sure that when you put together your programs or packages and your pricing, that it is customer and results focused. It's not what you like to do or what you think the clients need. And a lot of people in the spiritual or wellness industry do this. They use, actually, a lot of people in the financial can use it, and lawyers as well, actually. They will use language that we don't understand in their marketing, and it makes it really difficult when they give their package a really cryptic or unusual name. No one knows what it is. They get confused. They scroll past it. They'll never click onto you again. So make sure that that it is customer and results focused. And I like to say it is what it is. So when you name something, it is what it is. The program I offer is a Facebook mastery program. It's like it is what it is. Okay, so what are the three biggest strategies? So number one is know who your audience is, what they are struggling with, what they are interested in, and what they're prepared to pay for. And this is really important because if they're not prepared to pay for it, then they're not your ideal client. So this is Naomi. Naomi was already doing Facebook Lives, had a massive Facebook Live group, was doing Facebook Lives every single day, but was getting no inquiries and getting no people following through and booking appointments with her. And she was getting absolutely nobody to her events and nobody signing up to do her program. And the reality is that she wasn't crystal clear on who her ideal client was. The language that she's using wasn't speaking specifically to them. And the way she presented her offer was confusing. So it left people hanging, listening to her Facebook Lives every single day for free, and nobody actually going and taking the next step because they were getting it all for free anyway. So once we put it together and we worked out how to name the offer, how to price the offer, how to evoke enough curiosity to get people to book a call, Naomi was able to, and this I actually sent her just before, so this is recent because I know she got about 8,000 in the end of last year, $8,000 worth of clients. But up until the first 3 months of this year, she's been using the strategy and has already got $5,500. And she's still got a few that she's working on. So this was this year. In 2021, those strategies are still working, which is awesome. And this was understanding her ideal client and being able to better communicate to them what to do, and then price presenting and be able to get them to buy that offer. So number two is having the competence to use Facebook to build relationships which ends in sale and more. Now, this is the thing. Everyone says, give it away for free. Give it all away for free. But if you give it all away for free, why should anyone ever pay you? And this is a huge thing. So we have to understand or have the competence to be able to build relationships with the right etiquette inside of Facebook so that it ends in sales and word of mouth referrals and more, not just people that are showing up and taking everything for free and then moving on. So this is Ryan and Rachel from Less Pests. And you know, they've been with me for ages, and it's actually Rachel's birthday today. So if you do know Rachel, go into her timeline and wish her a happy birthday. But they've been working with me for years now, and they have built their entire business organically from Facebook. And in fact, they've actually just brought on a partner, so a third person and another new vehicle, because they've expanded so much using free Facebook marketing, following the strategies. And this was them going, well, there's 1,000 other pest companies here on the Gold Coast. So how do we communicate who we are, how we do things differently? And in fact, go and actually have a look at their Facebook page, not now while I'm presenting, but go and have a look at their Facebook page and know that you'll not only see that it's professional looking, but if you actually go and see how they engage in the community and what they do, it's part of the comprehensive strategy to get people to say, we will only choose you. So like in this bottom one over here, this was from July last year. I asked what made him so sure we were the ones. And he said he'd been following our business Facebook page for a while and sees great things that are posted on the community pages. So that's part of the strategy. That doesn't just happen. People don't just suddenly start sharing and posting on your behalf and promoting you. It's part of a strategy that we have to be able to get that so that you do stand out. Now, let me just say this. It's not Facebook threads and it's not pods. So if you don't know what those are, they spammy things where groups of people get together and they're not even in the right industry, and they go on and they just start liking and following and giving each other testimonials, referrals, and promoting each other without actually having worked with them or even knowing who they are. That messes with the algorithm. That is not part of the strategy that we have. Ours is based on real relationships. One of the biggest things to note here was a concern for them was that they wouldn't ever get high-priced clients, and they have. So they have even been able to score body corporate management jobs from what they do on Facebook. And this particular one was a $20,000 deal. So strategy number 3 is effectively communicate consistently to compel an inquiry and sale, focusing on a logical customer journey. Now, this is where people go wrong in Facebook ads and without Facebook ads, because they don't have a logical customer journey. Because of click funnels, everyone thinks that they have to have click funnels, and you don't. A funnel is a customer journey. It's from the time that you touch your ideal client and nurture them to getting them to buy, and then being able to upsell and downsell them. And that is a customer journey or a funnel or a strategy. Now, if there is anything that is off center with any of that, you will get a no, and they will opt out of that funnel organically, or if you're paying for ads. The good thing with organic is you're not paying for ads. It's absolutely free. So this over here was Fern. Fern came to me. She had a massive business on LinkedIn, had absolutely no business set up on Facebook, no offer, no nothing. Wasn't sure on what her offer is. In fact, a Facebook ads team came to me and said, please, could you work with her and get her ready for ads? Because right now, no matter what we do, it's actually not going to work for her. So I trained her and her VA to be able to get clients. And we started in a webinar funnel for her. And I've got different funnels and different strategies for each of my clients based on if they've got websites, no websites, or whether or not they whether or not they're introverted or extroverted, whether or not they want booking calendars, or whether or not they want more emails. There's different strategies for everyone. It's not cookie cutter. But for her, we had a webinar funnel, and she had to nurture and warm up everyone in about 6 weeks to get them onto a webinar. And she ended up getting a client, a $3,500 client, who paid for her program before the webinar even started. And that was part of that customer journey, and effectively communicating what it is that they do. This person said, I don't even have to wait for the webinar. Let's just do this. Let's sign up. And that's part of having a strategy. So fortune favors the bold. It refers to people who face problems with determination and courage, and they're the ones who attain massive levels of success. And I often say this, sometimes I'm so grateful for the fact that I never had Centrelink. I never had welfare. For the first, I think, 5 years of being in the country, I was paying to get into the country. So I had none of that. So I had no choice but to make it work. And that is why I think it has, because I had nothing else to fall back on. But I also invested in myself and one strategy that works, not 1,000 things that potentially may work one day. So the question is, like, what will you post tomorrow to not only reach more people, get more engagement, and create more income producing opportunities like podcasts, radio, and, speaking events. I just had somebody message me from Rockhampton. I've never seen her before in my life. Messaged me from Rockhampton and said, can I be part of a summit, an in-person summit in Rockhampton? So I'm going to be going up there in a couple months' time. And I'm using Facebook, free Facebook, to create those opportunities, which are going to put me in front of my audience to be able to make even more sales. And people might say that those sales aren't coming from Facebook, but they are, because all those opportunities were happening here. And that's why it's part of my mission statement. So what will you do to grow your page? Because your page needs to grow. You can't just make it pretty. It has to grow, and it has to grow with the right people. And what are you going to do to be more visible and to get more sales and a lot less time wasters? So Insanity is doing the same thing again and again and again, but expecting a different results. And one of the things that I do is this traffic light system, or it's called a robot in South Africa, where there's red, yellow, green. And I look at everything that I'm doing inside my business and I go, is this a red? Is it completely not working? Or where in this strategy does it become a red? And I follow all the green things that are working. And then I look at where the orange is and I go, well, this is kind of working, but not. So what do I change? And I don't change everything. I just change the part that's broken and make that a green and leave the red things alone. Get the greens green and going, get the oranges up to a green, before you even start focusing on the reds. And I can tell you now that that was one of the most important things that I did for myself. And I had no choice to, because I had to feed the children. Sounds dramatic, but it's true. So you're not the only one and you're not alone, which is pretty cool. Okay. And this is the Facebook success formula. At the end of the day, these are the things that people need in order to be successful on Facebook. They have to be able to communicate what it is that they do. They have to have clarity on what it is that they're actually selling and who their ideal client is and what they actually want. They need confidence in using the platform so they don't get blocked or they don't get removed or they don't get trolled, or they just don't get a bad reputation. Like if you look at Rachel's timeline, somebody wished her happy birthday on her timeline and put their business page link on her personal timeline whilst wishing her happy birthday. Now, that's not the way to build your business. Okay, so confidence in using the platform correctly. And then the next one is certainty. Having certainty that what you do is going to result in paying clients. So even though it's not happening today or tomorrow, you know that you're working towards something that is going to work because it's been tried and tested. So if you've got low confidence and certainty and low communication and clarity, you're going to have stress and overwhelm. And if you've got low confidence and certainty, but you've got high communication and clarity, chances are you're going to waste your time and your money. And I'm curious to know if you're sitting anywhere in this as well, because this will give you an indication of how successfully set up you are with your formula. Now, if you've got a high confidence and certainty, but you've got low communication and clarity, you're going to get, you'll get no leads and you'll get time wasters. Sorry, no leads and no time wasters. However, if you've got high confidence and high certainty and you've got high communication and clarity, you're simply going to be able to get clients and you're not going to waste your time and money. You're not going to be stressed and overwhelmed and you're not going to generate no leads or get time wasters, because I hear a lot of people get time wasters when they're confident and they've got certainty, but yes, they've got no clarity and no communication. They get a lot of time wasters. So to master Facebook in 2021, these are the three biggest problems. And if you want to sit there and be the sunny little sunshine in the middle, you've got to have competence, you've got to have clarity, and you've got to have certainty, which is basically a roadmap. So who would like to know exactly what to say and do on Facebook to simply make sales? Hell yeah, me. So let's review. So firstly, we've spoken about challenges versus opportunities. We've also looked at strategies that are making sales right now in 2021. We've also looked at the Facebook success formula, and we've looked at Facebook, what it takes to master Facebook. The three biggest problems if you want to become profitable is clarity in what you're doing. Is what I'm doing actually right? Have what I called it, is that right? Is my offer actually right? Is my pricing actually right? Have I set up my page right? That's clarity. Confidence. Do I actually know how to simply do things without sitting here and posting and sharing and then moving it here? I mean, if I have to hear another business coach tell people to set up a private group and a public group and another group and send them from this group to that group, then to your page, back again, it's insane. And that's simply because they don't have confidence in what it is that they're doing or know how to use the platform strategically. And the last one is competence. And that there is having the roadmap, understanding the roadmap. So who would like champagne? It's almost Friday. So imagine that you're going on a boat ride, and on this boat ride, you know that at the end of this river, there is going to be success. And you head off. It's peaceful, it's quiet, the water is absolutely amazing. It's the beginning of the day. You're paddling along and you're looking so forward to spending the day doing what it is that you love. And you get to a point and there's roads. In fact, there's a couple of different routes that you could take. There's this one, this one, this one, or this one. You go, this one looks okay. I'll go down this river stream over here. This one looks okay. And boom, waterfall, smash, bang, crash. I don't think you'll survive that. But say you survive that, you get back up again and you go, look, I'm really determined. I really like champagne. I'm going to get back up again. I'm going to go back onto that river and I'm going to go try another route. And I try another route and I hit rapids and I try another route and I hit another place and I'm getting really overwhelmed. I'm getting lots of bumps and bruises. My boat's getting destroyed. I'm thinking that I should just give up. And this is how people feel in business. So how can you overcome these? Well, firstly, imagine you had somebody who's already been there and done that, and they sit down with you and they go, hey, you're going to go down this river. And if you go down this river, you can go this way, this way, this way. And this is what's at the end of all of those rivers. But I can show you the way to go. And then imagine if I said to you, I'm actually going to jump in that boat with you. So not only do you have the map, not only have I explained to you what it is that we're going to be doing and what the risks and fall of all of it is, but I'm actually going to come along with you for the ride too. Champagne's always more fun with two people. And you live happily ever after, and you have an amazing day. And I should have champagne, like going everywhere. Knowing that it has been a pleasurable experience. So this is the part where I get to share with you, obviously, what my offer is. And it may not be for everyone, and this is okay. But my Facebook success formula includes all these things. And in fact, this first module over here is really important. And it's a new module, a brand new module, where it talks about mindset and organization. Because what I learned is that people want to get the leads, but they're not ready for the leads. They want to get sales and they're not ready for the sales. So we've included this new business basics mindset and organizational model in there. We've included things like personal branding, privacy, and your profile, which is incredibly important because you need to be able to block crazies on social media or know how to deal with them. We explain how the business page is set up with the settings and the setup and how it all works. So even if it changes, you'll still understand what it is. Then we'll go through content, and we're not going to go through the content that everybody needs to be doing. We're going to go through specific content that only you need to be doing for your business and your audience. So it's not cookie cutter and it's not fluffy, but it's personalized to you, along with coming up what your key messaging is. So what are the words that you're going to use to effectively communicate what it is that you do? That's going to help you stand out. And I'm going to explain the poor little algorithm who keeps getting into trouble all the time. But it's not the algorithm. Believe it or not, it's actually the users of the algorithm that mess up the algorithm. The next one is differentiation, being able to stand out online, coming up with what your desirable offer is, along with pricing and how you're going to take payment. Because if you get that wrong, you will get a no. And you will keep looking for more leads, but you will not actually convert anybody into a paying client if that is not right. The next one is in page growth. So how are we now going to grow the page with more of those amazing people? Are we going to run a competition? We're going to do a challenge, maybe a webinar. If you've got a podcast, maybe you've written a book. How are we going to grow your page? How are we going to put all these things together so that we can live happily ever after and enjoy that champagne at the end? How are we going to generate leads? How are we going to make sales? And how are we going to retarget people that are warm? Because so many people throw the fish back into the water when that fish is the right size for you. So retargeting and nurturing is a super important part of what it is that I offer. And the last one here is groups, events, Facebook Lives, templates, and tools. And again, because this is my Facebook success formula, it is a one-on-one program, which means everything I show you is a roadmap specific to you and what you're hoping to achieve. You will master Facebook, you'll get more clarity, you'll become more confident, you'll be able to effectively communicate what you do in your content, and you'll be able to get clients. Sounds good, right? So they always choose to, mow the lawn at this time of the day when you're doing a presentation. So along with the program and the one-on-one coaching, there's a whole heap of other things that you'll actually get to. You'll get a lifetime access to my lifetime unlimited access to my DIY online program. So when Facebook changes, I update the videos and you get the changes of how to set up the new Facebook, how to set up how the old Facebook is, how the new Facebook is, how now to use Facebook events, how now to engage in Facebook groups or set it up. The videos get adjusted and amended and get updated, and you get lifetime access to that. And they're short and they're not fluffy. You get one-on-one coaching, so you get clarity and direction, and you get accountability as you action things as well, because you get 15-minute phone calls as well as get email support, which is feedback. Templates and tools. I have got an entire workbook, which actually went up on Amazon yesterday, on practical and creative solutions, and every template and tool that you could possibly imagine inside this book. And I will make you one if you need one. And it'll help you simplify and systemize your Facebook. You'll get a strategy. So you'll know what to do, what that customer journey is, and what you need to do in order to get a result. And you'll have a simple and effective content marketing plan. And for support, because I'm heaps hands-on, you will get, on top of your one-on-one sessions, you will get phone calls, you'll get email feedback, you'll get confidence, clarity, and certainty. You will also get access to my tech team. So I have a tech team and they will help you too. Now, because we know that you might get to the point where you want to do it yourself ads, we've also included our do it yourself Facebook ads program, which is a bonus. And there's 10 modules in there, which you will have access to as well. And 8 weeks in our VIP mastermind, which is on a Monday at 1:00 Queensland time. And business owners show you right then and there live what is working right now, what is not working, what has changed in Facebook, and what you can do now to mix things up a bit. It is highly beneficial, and the people in that group love it. But you also get access to all the recordings, which are over 60 at the moment, in there, which have a detailed description. So it will say Facebook competition, if we spoke about Facebook competitions, and you just have to go to that video and you will have the video on how to run a Facebook competition. Okay. And I can show you heaps and heaps of testimonials, and I now do have my first bad testimonials. I do apologize for that. On my page, but I do have over 166 on Facebook alone, and that doesn't include all the ones on Google My Business and LinkedIn as well, and it is across from every industry imaginable. The total value of this package is almost $4,000 of what we're offering you, and today it's for the special price of $2,011. So just to recap, that is what you get. You get the one-on-one 8-week Facebook Mastery program. You get with the actual online program as well. I should have that in there as well, because you get the whole online video resources with lifetime access to. You get the do-it-yourself Facebook ads program, the 8 weeks VIP mastermind, and you get new customers, which is pretty cool. We do have 2 investment choices. On the left-hand side, you can pay up front, and it's $2,011. You get 10% discount, and straight away you get access to my calendar. So from the time we take payment, you will actually get a link into my calendar. We also have the direct debit option, where you can pay $435 and then $120 a week over 15 weeks. And there's a small transaction fee of like $1.30 or something, which is at your expense. But there are those 2 payment options. I'm just going to click out of here right now, just to go here. Sorry, I've sent it to Michael, and I should send it to everyone. So just give me 2 secs. There is the link if you want to click to that program, and you will see both options over there. Just go back in here again. Sorry. All right, there we go. So I've just shared the link with you inside the chat box, and that will take you to where you can either buy it up front for the 2011, or if you have a look just underneath the image, there is a direct debit payment plan option there as well. There's that horrible link. I have put it in the chat box. It should be clickable. If it's not clickable, copy, paste, and put it in, and have a look. As I said, there is the direct debit option on there. If you purchase today, so the fast action bonus, which is today, you will get a Facebook audit, and the Facebook audit will be done by myself, where I go in and I actually audit your entire profile before we start working together. You get 30 minutes of me reviewing that audit with you, but you also get an audit by my tech team to have a look at the tech that you have in your business. And we normally do that around week 2, once I've become familiar with all the systems that you have inside your business. So we can try and automate and systemize things as best we can. Which is awesome. So you get that if you purchase by midnight tonight. Anyone who clicks those links and does that today by 12 tonight, that is an additional bonus for you. However, this is open with those bonuses up until 5 p.m. tomorrow. And you will also receive an email, which will give you access to that too. So an email will come. I can't remember what the subject line is. It doesn't say help flooded. I think it might say webinar, I'm not sure, but have a look. You will get it this afternoon with the recording, along with the link to be able to purchase it and look at some of these as well. The fast action bonus you will get if you pay by 12 tonight, and by 5 p.m. tomorrow, or I think the first 3 to purchase will get it, because I work one-on-one with clients. So there's only one of me. I got 7 clients last month from Facebook. So I have availability for 3 more at the moment. So first 3 in, first in, best dress. And for those of you who did stay on, as promised, we will also send you that. Here we go. I'll just have a little look. For those of you who did stay on, I will also send you that checklist. So that will actually come in your email as well. And that's why I need to send that to my VA. I do notice there is somebody driving, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to send you that checklist. So if it is you and you would like to just, let me have a look. There is a mobile number there. If you want to email me and just let me know that it was you that was on here, I'd be happy to send you that sales formula checklist. So now is the time to answer any questions that you may have. Look at that. I finished 7 minutes before. Yes. Awesome. Brett, thank you. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. And yes, I actually did get a lot of people who emailed me saying that they did like the they did like the subject line. So you can't please everyone, and that's okay. You'll notice if you do go onto my Facebook page and you look at the review, I've asked everyone not to say anything or comment, because it can get quite nasty if you do, which is old school. People say you should. I don't believe you should. And I haven't replied, because the picture that she has shown, basically the first line says, I hope you're doing well with the floods. So it doesn't look, it doesn't make me look silly. I think it kind of makes her look silly, but that's just what I think. So we do have a couple minutes here for any questions. So if anybody else would like to unmute or perhaps give me any questions, that would be awesome. If not, I understand you've got things to do. You are welcome to jump off. As I said, I will be sending out the recording with all these links as well. And but if you do have any questions, stay on. And if you don't, that's okay. I'm happy to say goodbye now. Thank you to Kim for just being thrown into the deep end. Kim, I know that you were a client from so long ago now. Could you please send me an email, and I will make sure that you have access to that lifetime access to that DIY program, because I think that was before your time, and I'd happily give that to you. So, because that's how I roll. So I'll happily give that to you. All right, guys, thanks so much. If you want to go off, that's fine. If you have questions, stay on, and either write them in the chat box or unmute yourself. That's absolutely fine too. Those emails will come in the next hour or so. I've got 2 people on at the moment. Did any of you perhaps have any questions that you'd like to ask me while I'm here?
Hi, Chantal.